Hoonartek, founded in 2010, is a global leader in data solution with a focus on data product and monetization, digital banking and lending, and digital engineering. They empower enterprises across industries to drive transformation and generate new business opportunities. Today, we have Mr. Peeyoosh Pandey, Chief Executive Officer at Hoonartek. Peeyoosh is an accomplished IT industry veteran with 25 plus years of experience. With a strong background in sales and business development, he has worked with many renowned companies. Hi Peeyoosh, welcome to our podcast series.
Hi, Samarpita. Thanks for having me.
Let's start by knowing about Hoonartek and the services it provides.
Yeah, we are a 13-year-old data and analytics company founded in India with global operations. And we have been helping our customers in their transformation journey over last decade. And the areas where we have been helping our customers is data products and monetization, digital banking and lending, and digital engineering. And these are the areas where we have had marquee transformation projects delivered for our customers over these years. And glad to be here.
Yeah, we are also glad that you are here to deliver such insightful discussions. So, what are the vision and mission of the company?
So from Hoonartek perspective, the democratizing data and empowering our customers, employees, partners is the mission for which we stand. And what we are trying to do is build Hoonartek 2.0. So I joined Hoonartek last year as the CEO. Before that, founders built a great company over the last 13 years before I joined. And my background have been large IT companies over the last 25 years. And I have seen scale where I have seen the organization scale from $100 million to $1 billion. And the effort is take Hoonartek 2.0 on that journey. And we are working towards making sure that all the set pieces available which are required for this growth are being set up. What we have done is we have charted a 5-year vision for the organization, and we are working backwards from there to make sure that all the pieces are in place, and then individual pieces will start scaling up.
Great. So, according to you, what are some achievements of the company that are worth mentioning?
So from Hoonartek perspective, the achievements have been the kind of transformation and the data projects. Or when I say data projects, actually what I mean is data platforms we have delivered. If you look at data and analytics work which has happened over last 15, 20 years, it always remains a side project for most of the organization. And now the focus of generative AI and some of these things have brought in data analytics in the core focus area. The kind of work we have done is we have always believed that data and analytics work which happens in an organization is a journey, and with the end goal in mind where you are going to monetize that data or build data products. So what we have been building over last 13 years is data platform for our customers, where they can innovate, they can build products, and they can build data monetization journeys. And we have done that for Fortune 100, Fortune 500 customers. So the thing which needs highlighting for Hoonartek is that outside the scope, beyond the scope we have always thought about that how do you take these projects live? How do you make money out of it? And we have built this platform which are robust. There are places for large enterprises. We have built a platform which are still live and running over last 5 years, 10 years. So that has been the thing to highlight about Hoonartek.
So, you mentioned data platforms, right? So, can you just give us a little, some points about the data platforms that you're talking about?
So when I mean data platform, it often gets confused by the data platforms available from the cloud vendors. What I mean is in a large enterprise, which is running their global 1000, global 100, if they are running their business on, say, for example, any industry you choose, right? And if they start building a common data backbone, which is powering their customer journeys, their employees, their marketing, their sales, and so on and so forth. If you think like that, you will end up building a data platform. On top of that, you can build multitudes of journeys, applications, and monetization efforts. If you think that way, it becomes like a journey where you establish your base, and then you are building stuff on top which will help them take the journey ahead. If you don't think like that, what happens is people start a data project and they build something in silos. You walk into any large enterprise today and you will see so many silos that which are not connected to each other. We are talking to large bank where if you are taking a one type of the loan, the same data gets queried. If you're taking second type of loan, again the same data get queried. And these are the symptoms that there's no platform thinking. If you do a platform thinking, that all the common data models, all the common data required, that gets queried at one time, kept at a single place, and make sure that it is available across departments. So that's what I mean, Samarpita, by when I say data platforms.
Well, that was really insightful. So, since its inception, I guess the company has faced some challenges. So, can you mention some challenges and the strategies that you use to overcome them?
So challenges are a typical of an organization which is founded, and most of the organization, if you see, they go through their own cycles. So we have in our minds, Hoonartek has completed our first cycle where founders started the company. It went through a growth phase, and growth was still happening. But the thought was that we are a 12-year plus or 13-year-old organization now. 12-year when I joined, and it is a 13-year-old organization now. The thought is to take and scale the organization using all the ingredients which are available over last decade, and the go-to-market and other skills I bring to the table. So what we are trying to do is marry these together and put us on a growth path, which we are calling Hoonartek 2.0.
Well, that's great. So, according to the recent surveys, the data monetization market size is expected to grow from $4.19 billion to $10.41 billion by 2028. So, according to you, what are the probable triggers of this exponential boom in data?
So in our view, we have always focused on BFSI and telco because uh, in our understanding, those were the biggest producer of data. So what's happening, the key factors which are responsible for growth of data monetization is an outcome of data democratization movement. And what's happening is people are using data more and more for better outcomes. We are seeing continual increase in the volume and variety of business data and the rapid shift towards data-driven decision making. Uh, it is leading because the growth in the source and data and ability to stem it. The shift towards cloud and cloud-based technology requiring huge computing and storage power. So more and more we are democratizing the data. People are tending towards using it and making sure that you are able to use the data and monetize and drive either a top line or a cost reduction or things like that.
But why democratize data? Like, what are the benefits of data democratization?
So, so this is the journey on which we have had over last 30 years or so, right? So data democratization is a process where anybody from the organization can use the data for better decision making. Now, why do that, right? Because the cycle time for launching new business models are shrinking. And if the cycle times are shrinking, you have to democratize because there's no one who has the time to go to their IT department, fill in a requisition, get access to data, then run data science models on top of it, and make sure that those models are deployed, new offers are going out. Right? This whole cycle takes time. So the earlier, which used to take 6 months, probably now people have to roll out offers on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. If we don't democratize, these things will end up slowing down the business process, and in turn, it will slow down the marketing and the sales efforts. So that is the challenge which data democratization is trying to solve.
Now, according to a recent McKinsey report, in the last 3 years alone, data and analytics brought about a fundamental change in competition, and data monetization has played a central role in advancing their business. While a significant number of entrants launched data and analytics business have emerged and seen a strong demand graph, there are few imperatives that an organization has to put in place for successful data monetization program. So on this note, can you please share some details on the road ahead?
Sure. So in our experiences, many companies are launching data products and data focused businesses, and leading to data monetization initiatives. And market leaders are using data in greater number of ways to create value for customers and businesses. They are adding new services to existing offerings, developing new business models, or even directly selling database products and utilities. However, few have achieved significant financial impact worth reporting. Learning from the market leaders, organizations require that right combination of clear data and analytics strategies, better organization design, and talent management practices, and greater emphasis on turning new data-related insights into action. Some of the additional things which people need to think about is data quality. So if you see the greatest success stories of data monetization initiative, people who have focused on data quality, data lineage, data governance have gotten better value out of their data. And if that has not happened, then it is the old adage of garbage in, garbage out.
Now, according to you, what is the role of data governance in supporting data monetization efforts?
Yeah, as I mentioned as a response to your previous question, data governance plays a very crucial role in supporting data monetization effort. The monetization becomes a focal point of data governance relationships, and it cannot be an afterthought. So one of the enterprises whom we have helped in the past, what they had done is every project there was a data quality steward, and that person will make sure that data quality and data governance is done as a DNA of the organization, as a common practice rather than an afterthought. So that is the role of data governance, because that ensures that you are aware of your data quality, you are aware of your data lineage, there's a catalog available, and there's a robust governance framework available, which includes policies, standards, and stewardship. This is the requirement for any data monetization initiative, because this will help making sure that your data quality is not a suspect, and there's a traceability available for you to trace back that any data element which you are using, from where did it came from.
You mentioned data quality steward. So, can you just elaborate a little bit on this?
So data stewards are people who are responsible for making sure that your elements of data and also the ownership, that who owns which function of data, right? So as you can imagine, in an organization, there will be HR, there will be finance, there will be sales, and there will be factories, there will be manufacturing, there will be supply chain. Each of those data has to be, someone has to own the quality of data, making sure that data is usable and there's a lineage available. So data stewards are the people who are making sure that and ensuring that these things are followed, and they are available for organization to trace back if required.
So, what are some challenges and considerations in implementing effective data governance?
So effective data governance is a framework, but it requires a shift in the mindset. The fact that better data generally leads to better business outcomes. Without backing your data governance initiative with outcomes, or starting with an outcome in mind, on an ongoing basis, proving value becomes difficult. So quantifiable metrics should be defined, and a process should be in place to track and report over a period of time. Another challenge we have seen is the lack of streaming data available for real-time analysis. Because the cycle times are shrinking, if you don't focus on streaming data and near real time, even for things like generative AI, we are seeing that the model which were trained like last week, last quarter, last month, or last year were no longer valid. If you see the examples of cars like Tesla, they are also they are training their models almost on a real time basis. So that's why data streaming becomes very, very important. And if the model of data governance is implemented, it will facilitate that democratic use of data from a single source of truth, structured, unstructured, all the sources are in place and all the usages are aware, so that there's a framework to make sure that right data is available to right set of people and there's no misuse across the organization.
Can you mention some top data privacy and security trends to watch out for in 2024?
So there's a need for, and there's a growing need, and there's a movement across the world on protecting at least PII data and private data that leads to identifying an individual. We have seen implementation of GDPR and CCPA in place. We also see OEMs like Apple stressing protecting data at the endpoint. They have made available that option that you can choose not to share your data. In India, with the data leak, COVID data leak is serious. Many other regulation needs to be put in place to protect PII data, and industries are moving towards privacy first data model. Data clean room, anonymization, differential privacy, masking policies, and auditing all play a crucial role in data privacy and security. Data governance framework ensure that safety protocols are adhered at all times. So in summary, these are the trends to watch out for. Cookieless world is now a reality where you have to have consent, you have to have data clean rooms available, you have to make sure that these new monetization journeys getting built are adhering to these initiatives.
Yeah, so I was asking, do you think that automation can play a role in data privacy and security in future?
So automation led by bit of intelligence, automation in itself will not suffice, because you automate what you know. And this world is so dynamic that many a time you don't even know what you are dealing with. So automation along with assisted intelligence, or as we have been calling intelligent business automation, where a process automation along with AI ML models, along with human intervention required whenever it is necessary, will play a role.
And do you think that such transformative technologies like generative AI, which is very like in trends in technology nowadays, so does it have any application in data privacy and security or data governance?
Absolutely. So if you see recently, in fact, in today's newspaper, I saw that somebody has sued one of the model companies, saying that their private data was scraped and leaked, right? So
Yeah.
These large language model organizations which are using generative AI, they have to be careful that they are not training their model on personal data, and none of this personal data can be queried and made available during answering when people are interacting with these systems. So it is going to be a very murky world, and the challenges are these large machines who are consuming billions of records of data. We have to make sure that the data quality is in place and data governance frameworks are in place to make sure that none of the PII data gets fed into these machines and they are not churning it.
Great. That was really insightful. So that marks the end of our discussion. Thank you for joining us today. The session was really insightful, and I'm sure the viewers enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Samarpita. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you.